Negros Oriental really is one of my favorite islands to visit in the Philippines. They have Mount Linis, Apo Island, the Mabinay Caves, and the amazing forest and marine wildlife to boast of.
I agree. And what makes me visit them more is the way their local eco-warriors protect their natural resources.
And the way they conserve corals and marine life too.
That is why, join us on another eco-road trip, plus the special training on how to rescue dolphins when they get stranded, right here on Ruby on a Road Trip. The island of Negros Oriental, which faces Cebu to the east, across the Tanyon Strait, and Siquijor to the southeast, is one of the country's most popular diving destination because it is home to Apo Island, where you can swim side by side with a pawikan.
Lining up Darwin is a perfect stretch of miles and miles of more than 50 shades of gray-colored sands. How rich is the biodiversity here in Darwin?
It's very rich since the people are doing conservation projects. It's been recorded we have 300 plus of coral reef fish and 200 plus of coral, soft and hard corals around here. When you snorkel here, hopefully you'll see turtles, yes, around the reef, yeah, eating the soft coral. So that means there's food.
There's food.
And the water is clean because they're around.
It is not this shoreline that Darwin is treasured for underneath these waters is where the true treasure lies.
But we have the brain coral, we have soft coral, hard corals, and the condition is very good at this time, yeah. It's recovering from, because there's no, inside the marine park or inside the sanctuary, there's no activity allowed. Only snorkeling and diving. So no boats, motorboats inside, no jet skis allowed, no fishing inside. So the reef can recover fast.
Offering a one-of-a-kind diving and underwater marine life scenery and experience.
Efforts like the local sea rangers, we call them Bantay Dagat. They're guarding the reef 24 hours from illegal fishers and poachers. And also like the people around here, they're just concerned of, they're very aware, like not to throw garbage in the ocean. And also we do a lot of clean-up drive here. So we clean the ocean, my shop also, my staff.
Darwin and the other diving spots were already declared a marine sanctuary to protect the rich life forms and corals found underneath.
What do you think we can do to help save the reef?
If you go to a marine park, please pay the park fees because this goes to the conservation of the reef, of the island. Second, do your part. Don't throw garbage overboard or from the beach. When you go outing with your friends or family, please bring back all the garbage. When you go snorkeling, even if you're a good swimmer, better wear a life vest so you will float 100% and you won't be standing on the reef. If you go snorkeling, don't wear gloves because if you wear gloves, you have the tendency to touch the reef. This is okay, or get some shells. And no taking out of any marine species from the ocean, even the sand, please. They don't belong to your house. If we don't do something, the reef will just die. And if the reef dies, we don't have food to eat. There should be conservation and sustainability.
check if there is no coral or sharp object, and we can remove it from around the dolphin. And then we can dig a small hole around the pectoral fin so the dolphins will be more comfortable. Then if it's a sunny day, to protect the dolphins from the sun and prevent to be overheating and getting burned, we'll cover it with a towel, and we make the towel wet with a bucket. So we never cover the blowhole because they need to breathe, and the dorsal fin and the tail because they use it to regulate the body temperature. You need to keep in mind that the dolphins can still move their heads and bite you accidentally or in response of danger or getting stressed. So you always need to keep the mouth area and the tail area clear. So usually we keep the crowd between 25-50 meters away, depending how noisy they are and how stressed is the animal. And we need to move it back at sea as fast as possible. So the best way to lift a dolphins like this is we use towel or stretcher to move it back. But in this case, we collect scientific information about the stranding, so we can know better what species, what age, the size, if it's a mature animal or sexually immature, and the priority is always to release the animal as fast as possible. It's very important that when you rescue the dolphin, somebody take picture and document, because with the picture it's very easy to recognize what species they are. So it's important the picture always involve, like take a picture of the head and the mouth, because that's different in every species of dolphin, and then a picture of the whole body, so you can see the size, if they have scars or any wounds. But it's important to don't delay the release of the dolphins because you are taking picture. They can take picture while you're doing the rest and release as fast as possible. And then the next things that we want to do is release the dolphin. Some dolphins can be very, very heavy, so you need more people. And one way is to use towels. It's better than use hands because you can scratch or this can slip away or you can get injured. If they have disease, they can give you disease. We roll the towel in half so we can put it close to the dolphin. Yes, and roll it on the other side. The only things that we need to keep in mind when we roll the dolphins, they have bones inside their pectoral fins. So if we bend it too much, we can break the bones. When we roll the dolphins, you want somebody that bend the dorsal fin, the pectoral fin, and then help rolling it. The longer is the dolphins, the more towels you need and more people you need. When you lift it now, you need to keep in mind that the pectoral fins are not inside the towels, because that will bend the shoulders of the dolphins and can break the bones. Now we just lift it and put it back at sea, face first. This is because if the dolphins get scared or react or is strong enough, then it can swim offshore. If it's facing the beach, it will go back on the beach again. And you keep the dolphins to be sure that it's acclimatized in the water. The person in the front needs to be sure that the blowhole is always out of the water. And as soon as the dolphin starts moving the tail, like now, then you can put the towel down and let the dolphins to swim away.
Our resort basically is a resort located in Nipa Plantation. It's the only resort with the beachfront in it in the city of Dumaguete. Presently, we have 21 rooms. We do have a function room which can easily fit around 180 persons. We have a big landscape for events and other activities. Whenever we do projects, we make sure that it's very green. So we start out with 3 R's. We reduce, reuse, recycle. At the same time, we minimize the use of plastics. In all of the rooms, we started using pumps, soap pumps, dispensers, instead of using the normal soap bars. We do have a coastal cleanup every Thursday. It's a program which we do every week. At the same time, we also have a lot of mangrove preservation. Welcome to Santa Monica Beach Club. We would like to invite everybody to come over. It's located at Dumaguete City, Banilad, Negros Oriental.
Just recently, last January of 2015, 2 bottlenose dolphins were found dead at the Tondaligan Beach and on the shores of neighboring Binmalay town in Pangasinan province, in what has turned out to be a series of beachings in Lingayen Gulf.
With the alarming rate of dolphins and whales getting stranded in all parts of the country, every local citizen must empower themselves to know how to rescue these mammals.
Dr. A.A. Yaptinchay spearheads the Marine Wildlife Watch of the Philippines, a non-profit, non-stock organization that aims to support the conservation and protection of marine wildlife species and their habitats in the Philippines.
For years, you have worked so hard in publishing standard protocols on how to properly rescue marine wildlife such as dolphins. Why do you think it's so important for people to learn how to properly rescue them?
Well, dolphins and whales are part of the biodiversity in the Philippines, and they're considered threatened animals. Actually, a lot of them are even considered endangered or vulnerable. And since the Philippines, we're an archipelago with more than 7,000 islands, the coast is quite long. And along this coast and within our inner seas, we find all these animals.
Right.
And there are times that these animals find themselves ashore. And since these animals would probably need help, so we're creating protocols for our communities, the government, what they can do, how to properly respond to these reports.
Dolphins and whales belong to the sea. If we remove them from their natural habitats, we prevent them from performing their ecological function, which would affect the natural course of life in the environment.
Well, there are plenty of reasons why marine mammals strand. Some are of natural causes,
Right.
such as disease.
They're sick.
They're sick, they might get separated from their group.
That's right.
Some go after their prey into shallow waters.
Okay.
Sometimes there's also confusion. For example, there's something wrong. They navigate through the water using different senses, including their sight, their echolocation.
Right.
They even use the magnetic field of the earth to navigate in the water. Sometimes there's something wrong with that, either with their senses, and they get confused. So they end up along the shallow waters or in the coast instead of being out at sea.
Our role as humans is to always put the best interest and keep life in the wild.
I sort of created a manual that our government can use to be able to respond, so they can follow. The government has been active in training different regions in the Philippines also how to respond to these strandings based on this
now,
manual.
when you say government, are there any specific department of the government who's responsible or who's working with your organization?
If we talk about marine mammals, we're talking about two groups of animals present in the Philippines. One would be the dolphins and whales, and one would be the dugong. The dugong would be under the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and then the dolphins and whales would fall under the jurisdiction of the Department of Agriculture. I think the simplest way for everyone is to learn more about the marine animals that we have, or threatened marine wildlife, for example. Because I think the more we understand them, the more appreciation we would have about these animals, their environment, and the ecosystems they belong to. And this would be always the first step for better conservation, better protection, and us directly helping these animals.
One foundation in the Philippines is leading the fight to educate people about the ill effects of capturing dolphin and other marine mammals to be used for entertainment.
Earth Island Institute of the Philippines is a part of the bigger group of Earth Island Institute, which is based in the United States. Here in the Philippines, we have been advocating against the captivity of marine mammals, which includes, of course, a lot of dolphins and whales. But in particular, we always wanted to campaign and educate people that the best way to learn about these marine mammals is to see and study them in the wild.
A dedicated environmental activist group created to restore, preserve, and nurture the environment. Which do you think is the strongest advocacy your group has?
The strongest advocacy our group has right now is its campaign to stop all the importation of dolphins, marine mammals, and whales into the Philippines to be used as entertainment.
As entertainment.
as entertainment. In particular, those are directed to ocean parks and oceanariums that are using these dolphins, these captive animals, and putting them on display. And asking people to buy tickets to watch these dolphins jump around, spin, do stunts that you really cannot see with these dolphins when they are in the wild.
Earth Island grows environmental leadership through education and activism.
We always believe that people, humans, Filipinos, are part of a bigger ecosystem. People are part of a bigger ecosystem that we think and we believe is gradually being destroyed because of greed, because of development projects that are only for the people.
They lead the campaign to stop all dolphin and mammal shows in the country because in reality, these beautiful and important creatures belong to the wild.
Right now, the Earth Island Institute is campaigning against the importation of beluga whales by the Manila Ocean Park. We set up a petition at change.org/beluga where you can look up and check what we have written there. It mainly is about not importing these beluga whales because these Arctic animals, these Arctic mammals, won't really survive in tropical Philippines. It's just as basic as that. And we do believe that with the help of everyone, the government agencies, the companies sponsoring Manila Ocean Park, and our legislators, we could stop this cruel importation of beluga whales in the Philippines. Earth Island Institute would like to invite everyone to support our campaign against the importation of beluga whales by going to our petition site at change.org/beluga.
The Philippines, as an archipelago island, holds some of the world's richest marine life, and found in our waters is the humpback whale. What's the present condition of the marine mammals in the country today?
Well, marine mammals at present here in the Philippines are protected by law, but they are still vulnerable to a varied number of threats, both natural and human, induced, that endanger the survival of the animals out in the sea.
Ballena.org is one group that does research work and campaigns for education and conservation work on whales and dolphins around the Philippines.
The organization was set up on the basis of research, particularly for the humpback whales. Hand in hand with the research that we do advocacy work as well for the locals there. Our targets are usually the communities and the local government unit.
What are the basic laws that every Filipino should know about the protection of these marine mammals?
Well, one very fundamental law is the law administered by the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, Fisheries Administrative Order 185-1, which proclaims that all cetaceans, so that's whales and dolphins, are protected. So they are not to be caught, they are not to be hunted, they are not to be eaten, and they are not to be even held in captivity. Possession of any of these animals is illegal. If there is marketing of these animals, for instance, if they are illegally caught or if they are hunted and consumed, if an ordinary citizen sees this, they should report it immediately to the BIFAR. And if any of the animals are seen stranded on the shore, stranded means from the water, they are trapped on land and are unable to go back to the water on their own, then the public should report these to the appropriate authority.
With the goal of increasing awareness and knowledge on cetaceans and their habitats in the Philippines, including the humpback whales in the Babuyan Islands of northern Luzon.
Ballena.org has a call for volunteers every year. The call usually starts in January or December even, until January. Well, the humpback whales are here for a reason. The Babuyan Islands are the wintering grounds of these migrating species. They come to the Philippines every summer to mate and to give birth to their young. The Babuyan Islands is the wintering grounds for these humpback whales. Humpback whales and all the other whales and dolphins here in the Philippines, they're fascinating creatures, and they need to be protected. And the only way for them to be protected, in my opinion and in the opinion of our organization, is to enjoy them in the wild. They are beautiful creatures, and you can only truly appreciate their beauty, their magnificence, and their significance ecologically and as barometers of our environment in the wild. So through research, through proper ecotourism, that's how you can appreciate and even help these animals.
Negros Oriental is home to multicolored sands found in their different coastal towns. But one town stands out because of its rich black sand. February 6 will mark the first-year anniversary of the anti-black sand mining movement of 2014. Walk us through the history. What happened into the process?
Ang istorya ni sa unang panahon ning dunay usa ka dayo hapon kaniadto sa panahon sa 19 og 7. Dayon ni kwanto ni sulod diri kay ilang mining ang tanhay. Ang amahan sa mayor si Tibis, ang amahan nga mo mayor ka si Ibar. Dili mo sugot kay maguba mawasak ang kalikupan dito sa area. Karon ang anak na ang may gahom dito sa kuan sa tanay, hayag siya nga gawing kuan mag-mining dito ang black sand.
Okay, so at first, way back in 1970s, there was a Japanese firm who wanted to mine here. And that time, it was the father of the present mayor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mayor Ibarra
Mayor
Tibis.
Ibarra Tibis.
Tibis.
So that mayor then disapproved, right? Disapproved, and then at present, the son is now mayor, got that approval.
Because of these black sands and mineral content, an illegal mining activity was done which shook the whole town of Tanhay. Now, the black sand that they see here, is it really found here or is it coming from somewhere else? Where did all of this black sand come from?
Kani siya ma'am, kaning black sand. O ato yun ni siyang subayon, dili nigikan sa taas kay sumala sa ubang istorya nga nagikan sa dili. 100 feet, 120 feet ang black sand makita nimo sa kinaldman sa yuta. Na sa tulo ka layer, last to the third to the to the last, mo kuha ka og kuan magtaro ka dito, ang ikatulo gikan sa kinakatapusan ikatulo ang black sand. Black sand is a filter man. Filter sa tubig ba, sir, pag controller sa kuan. Ang dako kayong epekto, ang dakong kadaot nga mahimo. Ang tanom nato sa bisan sa kana sa sugar kuan, ang kuan mulaw siya mapalong mapatay hasta ang lubi, mapalong ang lubi. Maka nang malawas ba dayon ang mga tanang tanom nato mawala ang kuan ang ilang kuan kinabuhi ba. Unya ang kuan pod ang ganipong tubig lahi na og lami. Kung wala nang kuan mawala ang kuan sa tubig.
The whole town of Tanhay knew the ill effects of mining. That is why they stood forward and fought for the rights and the protection of these coasts.
Tungod sa usa ka kuan sa usa ka component pareho sa putaw anang iron. Dunay upat ka klase nga makuha nga iron ini na metal kaning ordinary iron kanang kuan pundido kanang kanang sa pang ordinary nga putaw yung upat ka klase kanang pinakagahi nga putaw na makuha sa marga.
The locals of Tanhay could not take what was happening to their home, their land. That's why, armed with conviction, they campaigned for the protection of these sands. you have successfully stopped all of these people from doing the sand mining in your area. What is your next step to provide the protection in this area?
Ang among gibuhat sa pagprotekta diri sa Black Sand area na dili makuha sa mga kuan langyaw ang maong markaha. Gabuhat mi og hinugpong kusog sa katawhan aron pagprotektar ini nga dapit kay og dili among subay ang mga LGU sa tanhay among gipangayo ag tabang sila tanan gusto nga makuha ni siya kaya gani sila gani gusto ang kuan ini nagplano nga makuha ning atong Black Sand. Mao na nga kami nagbuhat mi og sa ka grupo nga kami tanan magiusa pagpugong aning mga tawana nga dili sila makapadayon sila tumong tingwa nga pag mina og Black Sand ini nga dapit. Gatanom sa mangrove, gitamna na mangrove. O kanang kuana mangrove na magtanom.
Under Republic Act 265, also known as an act prohibiting the extraction of gravel and sand from beaches, the extraction of gravel and sand are prohibited in beaches. Thus, the people of Tanhay are still on their toes protecting Mother Nature.
Ang ako rang panawagan sa katawhan nga magbinantayon nga mag-atang yuta ini nga dapit nga dili masudlan sa mga tao nga nagplano og daotan nga ang atong kalikupan maguba kay para nga ang atong kinaiyahan magpabilin nga doon na gyapon tay mahimong panginabuyan sa mga kabos nga mananagat kay ug kun makuha ni maguba ni daghang epektuhan ang Tanyon Street maguba usab mo na nga atong bantayan kami magkanunayan magbantay diri para nga dili gyud nila masulod og ilang maplanuhan nga ilang kwaon kay ang LGU sa tanay nagplanohan jud karon nagplano pang gyapon.
What's the significance of this mangrove area not only to Tanhay but also to the neighboring town?
Talking about mangroves, we talk about environment. And talking about environment is not only endemic or it's not only particular in one place. It contaminates, shall I say. And so this gives benefit not only to Tanhay but also to the neighboring cities and towns and to the entire province. We might as well invite tourists who come here to participate in the maintenance and the sustainability of the area by making them part and parcel of this area wherein we can come up with something like we give them saplings for them to plant in the area,
So
and
they
so
get to
they
plant.
will, so they will be able to, enjoy their stay here.
Dolphins, which is the second most intelligent animal after apes, play a vital role in our ecosystem. They are the apex or the top level predators which controls the population of fishes and squid and keep our ocean ecosystem balanced.
Likewise, the health of a dolphin reflects the health of a reef. Coral reefs help keep the water quality high in an area. Without them, this quality may decrease and have many harmful effects on other species, including dolphins.
And always take time to empower yourself on how you can help protect marine life by learning how to rescue stranded dolphins and other wild animals. I'm Ruby.
And I'm Carl. Let's listen to what the Eco Warriors have to say about the environment. Because together, if we join hands, more work can be done and Mother Nature will be on the winning end.